People with opioid addiction look like me, they look like you. They are our friends, they are our family. They are running companies, they're in our community of faith, they're in our schools, but it looks like me and you.
You know, growing up, you'd look at my life and go, you know, you could be working in the ministry at church, you could be a business owner. You know, now you're a drug addict. People look and go, why, you know? When I was a kid, I was born with my chest inverted. So a local doctor here in town at 3 broke all the ribs from my sternum, pieced them back together. I never healed right, but it still healed. Well, if I lay down wrong, if I get hit, if I move a certain way or stretch a certain way, you can pull those muscles and you feel a lot of discomfort. It was that pain and that discomfort that I was dealing with. When I got out of high school is when the doctor prescribed me Lortabs. He said it's for a short time, it's gonna help you relieve the pain that you have. And then you'll need to start building your muscles back up and you'll be fine. And I remember him saying, you know, this isn't a script you're gonna keep filling. This isn't something that we're gonna keep doing for you. Before I knew it, I was taking all my script before the script was up. I was taking more than what I should be taking. Before I knew it, I was having pain, and I thought it was from my physical pain, but I didn't realize there was a withdrawal. And there's a physical dependency and physical withdrawal that you go into. So here I am trying to feed my physical pain, thinking that's what it was, but it was actually a withdrawal. I remember when it got to the point I was taking a handful of them, and somebody said something, and I said, it's just my painkillers, not a problem. And before I know it, I took all my script before the script's up, and now I'm buying pills from somebody. I remember the day happened when he said, no, I don't have any Lortabs, but I have Oxy. And of course, well, what is that? He said, it's like taking 10 Lortabs at once. I was like, well, that would be great, less pills. You know, here I'm taking handfuls, I'll just take one, that ought to be better. And that only happened probably 30, 60 days after the very first Lortab. And when I took that first one, it was just game on. I sure didn't hurt. I sure didn't feel like I need to lay in bed anymore. And from there, the race was on. I would take many of those as I could, many as I can find. And it wasn't a cheap deal. I sure couldn't get a script from a doctor at this point in time. So I was having to buy them off street. I was finding myself spending my whole paycheck just to buy a couple pills. I wanted to stop, but my physical body wouldn't let me, and my mind was telling me, if you want to stop hurting, just take another pill. And so it was a lifestyle at that point in time. I've already lost my job. My parents had to let me go. They weren't going to support somebody that's dependent on drugs, that is not themselves, that is actually lying. You know, I didn't want to let them know I've already burnt through my paycheck and I can't make my house payment. So I find myself stealing, and I want to pay back what I stole with my next check before they find out, but I've already spent that check, so I can't pay back. And I have all intentions to pay it back, but I can't because my check's already promised to the drug dealer. You have more loyalty to the drug and the drug dealer than you would do your own family. So I'm sitting there with the drug dealer saying, I'm limited on my funds, I'm limited on my money. He said, well, it's stronger, but it's cheaper. And it was heroin. And I remember I told him, I said, I don't want to see the guy, I don't want to know what car they're driving, I don't want to know anything. Just get it and get back, let's get this over with. You know, for some reason I felt like it was just gonna be a one-time deal, let's get it over with. He gets back in the truck and goes, you know, here's your stuff. And you know, I didn't even want to look at it. I was just like, this is crazy that we're even to this level, that this has got to the point that I'm buying drugs from big-time drug dealers. I couldn't even look at myself. I couldn't even look at him draw up the drug into the needle and put it in my arm. And I did it, and just bam, you know, the sky lit up. I feel better. Well, then the next day I'm calling him, you know, can we do it again? You know, before I know it, I'm like, what car is he driving? What's his phone number? Can I meet him? and it's became a lifestyle every day, every day. And this is from the Lortab to the Oxys, and you go, well, what are my other choices? You know, I try to stay clean for 3 or 4 days, but it just hurts, it hurts. When you're limited and you know that taking an opiate will help you that day, and still you're looking at a small picture that day. How do I get today? You go to the next stage, the next level. You don't want to, but you find yourself going to it. I remember I would spend money on the drug, but not buy a clean needle. I remember I would go up to the horse barn and take a horse rig out of the veterinarian bag that's used for horses and use that to inject the drugs into my body. Why? I want to spend the extra $5 just to get the drug. Taking that first Lortab, I would have never seen myself going down that road from handfuls to meeting the Mexican cartel for heroin to shooting it up to running from the police. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be that dad that died in the field. I don't want to be that drug addict. I don't want to be the person in prison. I want to be the husband I'm meant to be. I want to be the father I was meant to be. This is my story. That little pill will cause destruction through your whole life, like dynamite.
On the next episode of Killing Pain.
If you get cancer, people don't look down on you. They don't try to shame you. But when you become an addict, it's an ugly word, and the general public thinks you're a bad person.
Or what happens when they take that pill is it changes the brain. Their brain chemistry is changed and their life is forever changed. So it tells me that Mother Teresa taking these medications would get addicted. It's not a personality flaw, it's not a character flaw. This is a biological mechanism that happens.